Bienvenidos and welcome everybody to our celebration of bringing home our patriota Oscar Lopez Rivera in his first time here in Humboldt Park in over 40 years. While we get everyone settled in, we'll be sharing all of their contributions and congratulating and welcoming Oscar Lopez Rivera home. We're going to start our schedule off today with a very special performer by the name of Michael Reyes. Michael Reyes has been part of the Puerto Rican Cultural Center's efforts to release Oscar Lopez Rivera in various ways, particularly using his creativity in the form of poetry, song, hip-hop, and also a play called Crime Against Humanity that toured the entire United States and Latin America. So without further ado, I'd like you to give a warm welcome to our brother, our comrade, Michael Reyes.
Check, check. How y'all doing? Are we celebrating? How y'all doing? We want to welcome Oscar home. And I do a little bit of spoken word. Today's going to be chaotic, but that's okay because it's a celebration. So, can I read a poem for you? I just want to shout out to my peoples from Detroit. Where are my peoples from Detroit? We got some Dominicans over here. We got Boricua, Mexicano, luchando mano a mano. So I'm going to get into this piece. All right, here we go. Luchando mano a mano! All right, this poem is called The Day Oscar Came Home. The day Oscar came home, we held the biggest parade ever seen. The flags covering the entire horizon, light blue, shining bright, blending sky. People yelled from the rooftops, Viva Puerto Rico Libre. Police even joined in. All the politicians came out. I think I saw Mark Anthony, but it might have been Luis. But nah, don't do too fast, because it might have been Luis from up the block, because he looked like Mark Anthony a lot. So y'all know Luis always looked like Mark Anthony. You'd be happy, and he's not. Cars couldn't even move down Division Street. The UPS driver was pissed. We shut down the street. We held the first part of La Casita de Don Pedro, but we had to move it to the park. The yuppies walking their dogs started to freak out. We carried Oscar on our shoulders. There was an ocean of beautiful Puerto Rican people, more like the Orinoco. I made sure I had my Mexican flag. The street cheered as Oscar moved toward Humboldt Park. Abuelas yelling from the windows, youngins yelling from cars, kids yelling from bikes. There was even two gangbangers yelling as they rode a twin Schwen tandem bike, you know, the kind of bike that got two of everything. Y'all know those bikes, they be riding down the street. Even the drunks who didn't seem to care about anything yelled. The news sent helicopters. At first they reported it was a riot. This just in, live from Humboldt Park, the third riot in 50 years. Why do Puerto Ricans riot? But then they joined the full report by Michael Rodriguez in an article that he wrote for La Voz de Paseo Boricua. I heard a little child ask her father, who is that man on his shoulders? Who is that man on their shoulders? The father said, that's a Puerto Rican hero. As we reached the first 59 feet tall flag on California in division, there was a calm over the crowd, as if Roberto Clemente was at bat in the bottom of the ninth, down by 1 run, bases loaded with the full count. Oscar stepped down off our shoulders. He looked at the flag closely, felt its gold steel, observed the detail of the work, gave a smile more with his eyes. The crowd cheered. As we approached the park, the sound system was set up on the back of a truck. Lourdes Lugo gave the introduction. You are home now, Oscar. You are home now. Then Jose Lopez spoke, and he said, we are home now, Oscar. You are home. There was poetry by the youth. There was Judy, Devious, Pinky, Melissa, Matt, Janeda, JJ, and Savi all read poetry, as well as Eduardo Rocho. Oscar went to the mic, and the crowd erupted for a whole 20 minutes. They said, you are home now, Oscar. You are home now. We cried, laughed, smiled, cheered, and cried some more. And after we finished, we ate at the Cultural Center. Juan Antonio Correger. Dueño Clavi cooked his favorite meal. Acapurias, flan, tembleque, chuletas, morcilla, asopao, pastelón, pasteles, abondo, mofongo, modelo. I like a lot of Puerto Rican food, I ain't gonna lie. And then we had some pozole for Emma Lozano. We ate, talked, laughed, and smiled, but most of all, we cheered and celebrated and prepared for the next day work. All of this, the day Oscar came home. Welcome home, Oscar. Scott, welcome home.
Park. Today we have elected officials who have come together to help us with our struggle to release Oscar. Community activists, artists, musicians, mothers, fathers, brothers. We want to make sure that we give everyone an opportunity to say their thank yous to our constituents, to our community members for our efforts in getting Oscar home. I'd like to bring up a leader in our community who helps with everything health related from Norwegian American Hospital. We have the CEO, Jose Sanchez, today. Give him a warm welcome.
Thank you very much. And today is a historical moment in our city, in our country, and in our island. Today we welcome our hero, a person who actually gave so much for the rights of Puerto Ricans and having an island that will be independent. And that every nation, every community, every island, every country deserve to be self-determined and decide what direction they want in their life. Freedom is the last thing that every man deserved. I wanted to say a couple of other things. One, I think that we need to thank President Obama for giving the opportunity to have Oscar home. I also think that we need to thank our Congressman, Luis Gutierrez, for his fight. I also want to thank Alderman Roberto Maldonado for the courage to name the street today after Oscar Rivera. Thank you all. Oscar, welcome home. We love you. This is your home. This is your family. This is your community.
Next, we would like to call up to the stage the CEO of the National Museum of Puerto Rican Arts and Culture, Billy Ocasio.
Which one sounds better?
This one, but it'll feedback if you get close.
All right, can you all hear me? We ain't getting any feedback. We're good. We're good. Oscar, today, God, we give you thanks for this glorious day, for bringing Oscar back home. Today, my faith has been made stronger. And we need to thank God and Oscar for being here with us. Hello, Oscar. Let me introduce you to my family. My beautiful wife, Veronica, hasn't shown up yet, but she will be here. But let me tell you that every day she has said a prayer that this today would happen. Our humble heart loves you. And it's not just us. It's not just us. Not just the millions of Boricuas throughout the world, but throughout your almost 36 years, you have received support from people such as Nelson Mandela, Coretta Scott King, just to name a couple. And most recently, Pope Francis, Lin-Manuel Miranda, or Mr. Hamilton, and President Barack Obama. Brother, you have missed so much. You have missed so much, pero déjame decirte, some will always question what comes out of Humboldt Park. But look at all the elected officials who are here today, who happen to be Puerto Rican, who are honoring you. Some will question what comes out of Humboldt Park, but what about the first Puerto Rican Congressman, Luis Gutierrez? What about one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential in the world, Reverend Rafael de Jesus? What about the Teresa Rodan Apartment? What about the Puerto Rican Cultural Center, Norwegian American Hospital, And what about the best mofongo, chicharrón de pollo, and café con leche? And the National Puerto Rican Museum. For decades, we could only imagine you walking down these streets. You being here as we opened up project after project. Libraries and schools and housing, businesses and recreational projects. We could only imagine you strolling down the Mission Street and pausing about 20 yards away from those flags of steel, looking up at them and saying, "Aquí plantamos bandera." But today, we don't need to imagine, because today you are here in Humboldt Park. Our museum awaits your works of art, the creative and free mind of Oscar Lopez Rivera. We await to be a witness of your freedom, not a physical freedom, but a freedom that surpassed the mind and soul. Your paintings talk about love, spirituality, remembrance, and a deep love for our homeland. You planted the semillas, the seeds for what we have become. Now, Oscar, you are home, and you are part of who we are. Welcome home, our brother Oscar. Thank you.
Next, we would like to introduce a person in this community who we trust in continuing the education of young people who have been discarded by Chicago public schools and have been counted out of being successful, productive, intelligent members of our community as students at a school that Oscar Lopez Rivera co-founded called Dr. Pedro Albizu. Which I am also a proud graduate of. So let me start Jeanette coming up here with saying, Albizu! Albizu! Welcome to Jeanette Sokasich, principal of Albizu Campus High School. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Janeda. Yes, my name is Jeanette Sokasich. I'm the proud principal of Dr. Pedro Albizu Campos Puerto Rican High School, a school that was founded by Oscar Lopez Rivera in a time when the city was dropping out our youth because they were not engaged with the schools. And he decided, the community decided, that our young people were valuable, that they had knowledge, and that they were determined individuals to get their education, but they needed to have a place that understood their lives, their lived realities, and what they wanted to get out of education. And today, from a school that started in the basement of a church, today we have 193 students at Albizu Campus High School. And we have the largest class of 2017 of 87 students. Wonderful. So I want to thank you, Oscar, for planting the seed and the legacy of having an education for a community that is responsive, that is self-determined, self-reliant, and that we are self-actualized people. Gracias para la libertad. Thank you, Jeanette. We'd like to make sure that throughout this presentation we have some of our most creative and wonderful gems of artists in the community share. Next up we have an artist who has been part of the struggle to liberate Oscar Lopez and other political prisoners for over 20 years. I'd like to introduce you Eduardo Arrocho.
Humboldt Park! Boricua! We did it! I want to read a poem, dedicarle este poema a Oscar Lopez Rivera. And it's called Ode to Soldiers of the 100 Years War. In the beginning, when a boat named Maine sunk in flames, Yankees set sail for Boriquen. The Spanish fled, 4 isles they left for Old Glory to claim and complete her imperial reign. Invocation. Bandera atop a mountain cries for help. Another empire is after her wealth. Fathers and sons take up arms in defense. Protect our good pueblo contra crimes against humanity and imperial greed. We sing your brave names and remember your face. All soldiers, free us from fear. Return our faith.
prayer. Todopoderoso, Creador del Universo, protect our brave soldiers gone to war, in the battlefields, in a prison cell. Bless their loving hearts, bless their valiant souls. Condone the sacrifice that brings us hope. Grant strength to their families. Return them home. Almighty One, grow your love so that they may endure the constant attacks inside centuries deprivation gulags. Yet, even in the tomb, Albizu does battle in stealth, mummifying himself in wet towels to repel the torturous X-rays that radiate from the cell walls of La Princesa de San Juan. Moral. Although physically absent for decades, in murals your faces are ever present. War will only end when the unjust colony is dissolved by the righteous daughters and sons. Soldiers, beware. Too many stars make an empire fall. Bandera que onde sola, victoria. The return. Upon your return, victory was declared. Chicago gasped at your good, strong spirits. So smile, Grand Marshal. The prison bars on your portrait have been taken down. You are free to be touched, kissed, hugged. Parade with us, Grand Marshal. La Casita is singing. Bombazo, cantando. We stand with Lolita and Albizu on this stage, that day, witnessing our freedom. Thank you. ¡Que viva Puerto Rico y que viva Oscar!
We have some special guests now from our very, very beautiful and important initiative of the Puerto Rican Cultural Center, Consuelo Licorregem Centro Infantil, our daycare located on Division in California. The kids would like to contribute their voices today as they learn about their culture, their language, and their heroes from a very early age. So here we go. Would like to give Oscar a gift, so we're going to walk them over to him. Vengan conmigo, vengan conmigo. Vente, Daniela. Vengan conmigo. Aquí está Oscar. Come on over. All right, we'd like to make sure that we move along in our program, and while they give Oscar his gift, oh, wonderful. That's okay, I'll figure it out. I'd like to introduce Dorian Ortega from First Church on behalf of a church that has supported the release of not only Oscar Lopez Rivera, but they have been with us through decades of releasing our former political prisoners, and Dorian would like to share a few words.
Hi everybody! I just have to, thank you guys for bringing me up here. My name is Dorian Ortega. I am also an employee of the Puerto Rican Cultural Center. I am also a mental health clinical counselor. I am a graduate of University of Illinois Chicago, and I have to say to you, Oscar, I'm so nervous. I'm going to give you one huge hug after this, pero quería decir que tan orgullosa estoy. I us, and the fight that you have fought, that you continue to fight, and the spirit and the love and the community that you have helped us all to bring and to come together and to fight for. I'm very grateful. I am a member of First Congregational Church of Chicago, Primera Iglesia Congregacional de Chicago, part of the United Church of Christ, and the United Church of Christ has supported the political prisoners. My church has also supported the political prisoners. Lisa Torres was my Christian education teacher. She is also the daughter of Reverend Viejo Torres, and I am a very proud member of my church. I am very blessed to be here, blessed to have been born and raised in this church by my grandmother, my wonderful leaders. Thank you so much. Primera Iglesia is where they house some of the political prisoners, and they supported and met there. They provided education. They started school programs, bilingual education, also food initiatives, after-school programs. We also have an after-school program that has graduated 100%. 100% of those children that have attended our after-school program are going to high school, and most of them have gone to college. So we have you, as well as all of our community members, to thank. Thank you so much. It's so wonderful to you. Finally have you here free. Felicidades. Dios te bendiga, que te cuida, que te acompaña, que te guarda. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
What's beautiful is that we have people in all of these organizations, all of these institutions who serve completely different roles to all do one thing, and that is better the lives of the Puerto Rican residents and our friends and allies in Humboldt Park. I'd like to introduce you to Jose Luis Rodriguez from Lima.
Hello, on behalf of Mario Nieves, we're going to read a letter from Mario to Oscar. This letter was written by Mario Nieves to Oscar. Mario's right now in Lima, Peru, making his way back to Chicago on his motorcycle. Let me just start. I'm riding northward, Oscar, on my Harley from Lima, Peru, making the long way back to Humboldt Park. I want to tell everyone that I would have loved to be present to give the welcome to this great patriot in person. Unfortunately, I'm unable to be here. The road I have taken in life has led me through every nation in Latin America, promoting peace, love, and harmony, uniting the Americas under a humanist association way beyond motorcycling. In my travels, I was honored with an audience at the home of Uruguay's former president, Pepe Mujica. Not surprising, Pepe knew about Oscar. Imagine that, in Uruguay, they know Oscar's name. Mi compatriota de San Sebastián, just like myself, was raised in Chicago during tumultuous times. Racism against blacks and Latinos abounded. Hate, prejudice, and abuse by police departments, unfair treatment in the courts, jobs, and housing discrimination caused many of us to rebel, in many cases turning to violence as a way of defending ourselves against injustice. The 60s, 70s, and 1980s were very controversial and violent decades in the battle for human rights and a more just society. Many of us need to battle it out for changes in the United States. The circumstances that we lived under gave cause to Oscar to risk his life to foment change in our colonial situation. You, my brother, Oscar, are a great patriot, our hero, and it is an honor now to have you among us once again. Finally, as we celebrate the 40th anniversary of Lama in June of this year and commemorate your legacy of 50 years of community activism, it is my hope that I can be present to personally congratulate you at this year's Puerto Rican Day People's Parade, where you have been bestowed the honor to lead as Grand Marshal. Welcome home. On behalf of Lama, as we all know, that in Puerto Rico, every town has a flag. In Humboldt Park, we have a flag. And it's this flag that we have here that we want to present to Oscar Lopez Rivera, favorite son of Humboldt Park.
We'd like to keep our program rolling. As you guys notice, there'll be people up here giving tokens of their appreciation to Oscar. And although we'd like this to be like a big old Puerto Rican birthday party where we sit and watch all of the birthday gifts be opened, we don't have time for that today. But we're going to keep the program going, and I'd like to introduce you to a retired and former judge, Gloria Chavera, and our current judge,
legends, people of extraordinary historical significance. Today is such an occasion. I'm here to pay tribute to a living Puerto Rican legend, our esteemed brother, Oscar Lopez. Welcome home, brother. Welcome home from an unjust conviction. Welcome home from an unjust term of imprisonment. Welcome home from an unjust conditions imprisonment. Welcome home from unjust treatment while you were in federal custody. And thank you. Thank you for never giving up. Thank you for never surrendering. Thank you for never accepting a conditional release from federal custody. Thank you for never compromising your principles, your spirit, your dedication, your commitment to nationhood, and your commitment to a sense of universal civil rights will guide my generations for years to come. Thank you for teaching us what it means to be a good and true Puerto Rican. Thank you.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. All right. It was the button. It was the button, after all, with the sound system. Buenas tardes, patriota. My name is Gloria Chévere from the Republic of Jayuya. Yo soy de la República de Jayuya. First and foremost, I wish to thank the committee that invited me to speak here today. I am limited to 2 minutes, so let's get to it. I cannot talk about our esteemed guest without a brief acknowledgement of another great Puerto Rican. During Don Pedro Albizu's Campos' early days, I had not yet been born, but I do remember my family of independentistas talking about him. And that's because they were still living in Jayuya in 1950 when the people of the small town dared to raise arms against the imperial colonial forces occupying the island. They paid dearly for that rebellion, but it made us who we are. My generation knows this only because it has been told to us. It most certainly was never taught to us. By the late 1970s and 1980s, along came a man that wanted to change our narrative. He embarked on a mission to educate us. He let us know where we came from, and he let us know who we were. We were born too late to know one great founding father that eventually will make us all free, but now we are fortunate enough to have one of those patriots with us today. I am, of course, talking about Oscar Lopez Rivera, a man in the same room with us, a man we can actually talk to, a man we can learn from. A man who never compromised his principles for his own selfish well-being, his personal comfort, his own personal liberties in the form of a conditional release from prison. He chose another path, a path of righteousness, of truth, of strength. He chose the path of honor. He chose to do exactly what a lot of us are doing today. He chose to resist. He chose to stand for something and not just fall for anything. He never compromised his principles. He never gave up on a free and independent Puerto Rico, free from imperial rule, free from its colonial occupation, free from its crushing and suffocating Wall Street debt, free from the consequences of the Jones Act preventing us from trading with other countries, and free from the worst sin of colonialism at all, the worst vestige of colonialism, second-class citizenship. Patriota, your students are here. We are listening. I think it's safe to say that everybody here is a member of that resistance, which you bought and paid for with decades that you were in the federal prisons. Dear patriot, one day we and Puerto Rico will be free because you are now free. God bless you, and God bless what will eventually be a sovereign Puerto Rico.
Thank you to Gloria and thank you to Beatriz Santiago. Next, we would like to introduce someone monumental in making sure that they work with us and alongside us in our struggle to free our political prisoner. We have Professor Barbara Ransby, who's a professor at UIC, but also a member of Resist, Reimagine, and Rebuild.
Thank you. Can you hear me? How are people feeling today? Today is a day of celebration, of vindication, of reunion, and reclamation. Oscar, my brother, bienvenido a casa. I want to congratulate you on your freedom from the confines of the U.S. prison system and welcome you back to the larger confines of this occupied land that we inhabit. Sadly, we welcome you back to the madness of this racist, imperialist, xenophobic political moment, but happily, we welcome you back to a new phase of struggle. We welcome you back to the warm embrace of a community embattled and determined to resist. And we are thrilled to have you with us on this beautiful Chicago day. Let me say this, for those of us who did not know you before, we still feel that we knew you. We knew you and we embraced you as our brother. Because even though you were not with us, you were with us. And Jose and Alejandro and Jan made sure you were with us. In 1998, when the Black Radical Congress was held here in Chicago, 2,000 strong, you were with us, and we held up your name and called for your release and those of all political prisoners. In 2014, when we convened the Freedom Now, Freedom Dreams Conference with 3,000 participants to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Freedom Summer, you were with us, and we held up your name to great applause. Last year, when Sister Angela Davis was here, and we stood in solidarity with our sister Rasmea Ode, who has been tortured and jailed and is now being forcibly exiled from us, but she will really never leave us, you were with us. And we called out your name for inspiration with the hope of your imminent freedom. And as I stand here, I give a shout out to the many people here in New York and on the island who have fought relentlessly for your freedom and refuse to let any of us forget or ignore or diminish its importance. I especially want to single out your devoted and determined lawyer, my sister Jan Sussler, who fought like there was no tomorrow. Joked with her and said, if they ever come for me, I don't care if she's in retirement, I want her to be my lawyer because she is a fighter and she fought for you, and now you are here with us. So despite the long road to freedom that lay ahead, you will not walk alone. I stand here today not as an individual, but I bring greetings from people who have been on the forefront of the Black freedom struggle in this city and in this country. Some of them are here today, particularly the young people who have been leading the fight against state violence and repression, white supremacy, patriarchy, and empire. I bring greetings from the Black Lives Matter movement of Chicago. I bring greetings from the Black Youth Project 100. I bring greetings from the Let Us Breathe collective, some of whom you met in Puerto Rico. I bring greetings from Asada's Daughters, and I bring greetings from the Resist, Reimagine, and Rebuild Coalition. We express our congratulations for your freedom. We pledge our solidarity for the fight that lies ahead. And most importantly, we express our love and gratitude for your sacrifice, your leadership, your integrity, and your vision. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Professor Barbara Ransby. And in keeping in the theme of solidarity that we believe is an action, we want to make sure we have the allies who have helped us throughout the years in releasing our Puerto Rican political prisoners and who support our vision of a sovereign and free Puerto Rico. We want to make sure that we give them the opportunity to share their thoughts about today's monumental moment. I'd like to introduce from the Arab American Action Network, Rasmea Ode.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. You are amazing. Thank you. In my organizing career, I have spoken in front of the Palestine National Council, the Palestinian legislative body in exile, and in front of a United Nations Special Committee in Geneva. But I was as proud to be in front of this audience tonight as I have ever been in my entire life. marched together in dozens of protests for immigrant rights, Palestinian independence, Puerto Rico independence, and other social justice issues. We organized together at UIC, International Student Days, and other community mobilized like yours when the government came after the Palestine Support Movement and the Anti-War 23 in Chicago in 2010. And now we get to celebrate together with National Puerto Rican Human Rights Network and the Puerto Rican Cultural Center and all of you, the freedom of your leader, Oscar Lopez. But he's not just your leader, he's our leader too. Oscar, over 6,000 Palestinians are political prisoners in Israeli jails because they fight for what you fight for, self-determination and adding to colonization and full and complete independence. 1,800 of them are currently on an open-ended hunger strike in its 31st days. And they are in need of your voice of support because they are inspired by your freedom and your refusal to accept anything less than all of your people's demands. I have faced my own criminalization by the U.S. government and will have to leave my home here in a few months. Where I land, I will continue my fight for Palestinian independence, and I will continue to support the independence of Puerto Rico. And I pray that we both live long enough to see our two nations free from evils of colonization, colonialism, and U.S. imperialism. Welcome home, Oscar. Long live free Palestine! Long live free Palestine! Long live free Puerto Rico! Long live free Puerto Rico!
Thank you so much. We'd like to remind everybody we want to thank you so much from the Arab American Action Network. Without the work of all of our allies, not only will you not have all of our Puerto Rican political prisoners free, all of our Puerto Rican political prisoners are home. But we also want to make sure that they know that these, along with our commitment to freeing our political prisoners, we are committed to working in solidarity with communities that are also under the thumb of colonialism and to help them with their struggle to free their countries as well. I'd like to introduce an organization named Hannah Inez Troy, the executive Executive Director.
Thank you, Rosmea. We love Rosmea. Chicago loves Rosmea. The whole world loves Rosmea. We're honored to celebrate Oscar's freedom today with you and the Puerto Rican community and the communities that are working toward a just world for all people. Congratulations to the Puerto Rican community that worked so hard for so long without giving up to finally bring Oscar home. And we're all in awe of the leadership of Jose Lopez, Alejandro Molina, Michelle Morales, and all other women, men, and young people's leadership that demonstrated the powerful determination of Puerto Rican people. I'm so honored to stand here with all of you, particularly today, May 18th, because this is the day that the Koreans and the world remember it as the Gwangju People's Uprising. It's a day when people of Gwangju in Korea rose up to fight against the U.S.-backed military dictatorship that happened in 1980. People of Gwangju were very well organized in mass, and they were so powerful speaking up against the U.S. imperialism that was controlling South Korea. And in response, the South Korean government fought the forces of citizens by killing its 2,000 people with tanks and firearms. So people of Gwangju, today, May 18th is the day we commemorate this as they showed us and the world the power of love and people coming together, organizing, and taking care of each other against the power system, even though it was imperialism. So the root of the Korean American Research and Cultural Center, now the Hana Center, is the spirit of Gwangju People's Uprising. So while we work for the rights of immigrants here and in the United States, we know that we are people that have been forced out of our homeland because of the U.S. imperialism, militarism, and corporate greed. So in that way, we also work in solidarity to support sovereignty of Puerto Rico and other sacred lands like Palestine, native land, and Korea. So Oscar, your resistance and finally your freedom are monumental. And you're coming home to a really turbulent time as we all know it, and we have a lot of work to do. But you are a giant who showed us the power of self-determination, power of people, organized people, and the power of love we have for each other and for all the people who are working for a just world for all. So thank you so much, and bienvenidos, muchacha.
Thank you so much. So a lot of the poets that have been coming up have had a similar theme in their poetry, and most of them have written poems that imagine the day that Oscar Lopez comes home. But what a beautiful day it is today that they're able to perform those poems and those premonitions of what we were going to make happen at any cost necessary in front of our hero Oscar Lopez Rivera today. I'd like to introduce graduates of Federal Albizu Campos High School, members of the Puerto Rican Cultural Center, and activists still with the National Puerto Rican Human Rights Network, Jesse Fuentes and Cassandra Figueroa. I got a letter from you the other day. With so much hope and love, it almost blew my mind away. With all your strong words, you keep me searching for a better way. Not to give up, because that's what Oscar would say. So I'm gonna write you back and let you know what's going on these days. He sits in his history class, but doesn't get a history lesson about his people and how they were treated less than. He will always be seen as a savage, the ultimate predator. While in his books, they glorize the famous oppressor. He feels pressure to make all the wrong moves. And that's because violence has become his form of abuse. I don't even know how to help him or even give him hope. He has self-destructed and coped with dope. With the lack of love for himself, he doesn't trust or love anyone else. You can help him to think of a way and ask yourself, what would Oscar say? Oscar would say that he is a product of colonial aggression, that he is beat up and made empty by the cycle of oppression, and how
love. Our people have been raped, pushed over, and shoved, and it must stop. We must pick up our women, nurture our children, and show our youth there's no need to be afraid of the cops. You see, he's just another example of what this system has done to our people, and this system will continue if we can't treat them like our equals.
Well, there's this girl. She listens to the clock as it tick-tocks. She's in shock. Raises the glass to take another shot. Too busy concerned on the what's and the have-nots. She stares at a picture, knowing that the alcohol destroyed her family quicker. It makes her sick. Knowing that she left her kids in a ditch, feeling the itch. So she drinks her way into an abyss. But what life is this? Because her memory plays pics of a wife with kids, with challenges, but nothing that they couldn't handle then. But now, she's battling. This habit, it got her struggling. Slowly going down a path that leads to tragic end. And all she wishes is she had a friend. Because all she needs is encouraging. So as the clock goes tick-tock and counts a day, she came about day asking what Oscar would say.
Oscar would say that alcohol has become her form of escape, that she drinks her dreams away because she has a lack of faith. But we must assume responsibility for removing the bottle from her hand, you see, because another sister died is destroying our land. She is beautiful, and she has the ability to move masses, but it's not going to happen if alcohol continues to fill her glasses.
Well, now, I'm in the mirror trying to cover it, right? Because this is the second time he blacked my eye. Man, and if my parents see my face like this, you know, my mama's going to say something and daddy going to trip. Because I'm too good to be stuck in this mess, to be breaking up with bruises all around my chest, falling victim to his fist, steady feeling his rage, stuck in a lonely pit because I'm locked in a cage. Because what I thought was love turned me into a slave. I became an object, his personal pawn. Only time I got love was when his urge was strong. And any other day I get beaten with hate, my soul stays screaming out, trying to find an escape. I'm tired of the pain and getting treated this way. So I came in and asked Jesse, what would Oscar say?
Oscar would say that these have been the culture since the beginning of our colonial time. Women have been raped, beaten on, and these are conditions they have internalized. But in order to move forward, we must educate our brothers and sisters to overcome these conditions. Men must treat women as their equals, and women must be less than. You see, violence in our home has become a tradition, like Sunday family dinner and hanging in the kitchen, but we have the ability to change this, to create a new form of thinking. Now let's start by unlinking the chains of oppression. You inspire who we are,
And we look forward to the future.
we wrote to just to you.
Cassandra and Jesse and La Lucha.
Thank you so much to Cassandra and Jesse. I would like to introduce an ally to this community, an elected official who cares about not only his constituents, but about supporting all of those in need of justice in our city. We have the alderman of the 35th Ward, Carlos Ramirez Rosa.
Thank you so much, Janeda. I'm proud to be queer. I'm proud to be Boricua. And I'm proud to represent 55,000 working people, Mexicanos, Borinqueños, inmigrantes, trabajadores, as alderman of the 35th Ward. And I can tell you truthfully that I could not stand up here and say that if it were not for Oscar, if it were not for those that put their lives on the line, if it were not for those that sat in jails unjustly, if it were not for those that struggled. And so on behalf of the 55,000 working people of the 35th Ward, on behalf of the People Power Base, our independent political organization, United Neighbors of the 35th Ward, I want to say, Oscar, welcome home. It's difficult to express what this moment means to us, but the sun is shining and our hearts are full of love. Our faces are cracked with smiles. And so I want to share with you some of the words that Oscar wrote. True freedom meant not just the ability to vote or choose one's own political representatives, but the ability to build one's own schools, to have accessible healthcare and jobs, to have clean air and water and energy and the control of the communities that utilize them. True freedom
economic independence includes a free and fair judicial system with responsible and accountable policing, fair legal process, and reasoned judgment and sentencing. Today, that's right, applaud for those words that Oscar wrote. It is so fitting that today Oscar is with us, because here in Humboldt Park, our community faces displacement from developers who care only about their bottom line and their greed. On Puerto Rico, our sisters and brothers face devastation with the closures of schools and the closure of hospitals, because Wall Street cares about themselves and not the people. So now we have our hero. Now we have our leader, he's home. And so the developers, and so to Wall Street, I say watch out. Because Oscar's out of jail, his people are fighting, and we will struggle just like he taught us to fight every single day. Puerto Rico no se vende, Humboldt Park no se vende. Que viva Puerto Rico libre, gracias.
Would stand on stage and say, que viva Puerto Rico libre. A lot has changed, Oscar, a lot has changed. And we want to make sure that we also make sure we highlight all of the creative people in our community who make sure that our culture is an anchor, is a flag, is a weapon, is a tool of education that we use in this community to keep our history, to keep our people engaged, creating, excited, and educated. So we would like to introduce the Executive Director of Segundo Ruiz Belvis Cultural Center, Omar Torres.
Thank you very much. We're going to be very quick, but it's... yo voy a hablar en español, si no importa, ¿ok? Oscar, estás en casa, te queríamos hacer el regalo de la música. Como estuviste tanto tiempo fuera, tal vez no sabes de lo más reciente que ha llegado la música puertorriqueña. Así que, si puedes sacar un momentito los CD. Un poquito de música para el cafecito allí en Pepino. Esto es Jerry Ferrao, bomba, puertorriqueña. Miguel Zenón, jazz, puertorriqueño. Orquesta El Macabeo, salsa puertorriqueña. Miramar, homenaje a Silvia Rexach, bolerito puertorriqueño. Henry Cole y el Afrobeat Collective, de lo nuevo, de lo lindo de Puerto Rico, de Mayagüez. 7-9, hip hop puertorriqueño. Y Boricua Soy, de Leró Martínez, de Puerto Rico. Esto es para el cafecito en San Sebastián del Pepino, que lo disfruten mucho, te queremos mucho. Y esta es Nicole, que te va a entregar el regalo. Gracias.
Muchísimas gracias, Omar. We would like to segue that into a little bit of cultural expression. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce one of our favorite Puerto Rican artists in Humboldt Park, Let's Say. Oh, and activists, I should include, right?
So I've never been a really good speaker. I always get nervous, but what I lack in speaking, I make up for it more con la pluma, with the pen. So I wanted to sing a song. Oscar Lopez. Yo soy el ponceño de Chicago, el león de la ciudad, la perla de mi barrio, escúchame cantar. Tengo un fuego que vive dentro de mí, que ni el parque de bombas podrá apagar, no, que ni el parque de bombas podrá apagar, no. Es un Chicago fire, más verdadero que los políticos layas. Te quieren hablar de la masacre brutal como si fuera un cuento de viejos nada más, pero esta historia continúa cada día. Pero esta historia continúa cada día. Es un cupa cumpa, es un cuento que tengo yo. Es un cupa cumpa, es un cuento que tengo yo. Quiero cantarle a Ponce quiero cantarle a Ponce The New York Times says economy and crime spur new Puerto Rican exodus, written by Lisette Alvarez, febrero de 2014. ¿Qué tú crees? Tell me why my people are standing stronger. Could it be, oh could it be, the resistance in their voices? Santurce, San Juan, Arecibo, Mayagüez, identity is our beautiful strength. The beauty unseen is Puerto Rico libre. I wanna see Puerto Rico libre. Quiero cantarle a Ponce. Quiero cantarle a Ponce blues. Muchas gracias.
Thank you for that, Lester Ray. Lester will be at many of our performances, but we'd like to call up one of the longtime supporters of the National Puerto Rican Human Rights Network Chicago chapter that has been part of organizing around educating, collecting petitions, door knocking, taking 13-hour trips for 1-hour events in Washington, D.C. and coming back with lots of leg cramps and crackers, crumbs everywhere. But we couldn't do that without the support of organizations like Crossroads Fund. So we'd like to introduce Gene Kreitzer.
We're all benefiting from them today. We're all seeing them today. Look around you. This is a liberated zone. This was always meant to be a liberated zone. These are not just daycare centers. These are not just schools. These are revolutionary projects, and they always have been. And Crossroads Fund is proud to have funded these projects since 1981. And we are also proud to say that the liberated zone includes independence, freedom, and identity for identities across many, many spectrums. And that has been an important thing that the Puerto Rican independence movement has given to the rest of us around the world and in this city. And finally, I want to say, Oscar, it's been so important for us to be able to fund you with the fund to work, the National Puerto Rican Human Rights Network, to free the political prisoners, to free the POWs, because we need to understand and always remember that fighting for independence, fighting for people's freedom is never, never a crime. And let's remember that. Free Puerto Rico!
Thank you for that, Gene. Do we have any aspirantes in the audience today? Some aspirantes in the building? I'd like to introduce Fernando Grillo with Aspiras.
Good afternoon, buenas tardes. Soy Fernando Grillo. Estoy aquí no como un New Yorker, no como uno de los de afuera. Estoy aquí como un puertorriqueño. I'm here not as a New Yorker or as someone de afuera. I'm here as a puertorriqueño today. Oscar, en buena hora. En buena hora. There has never been a more important time for us to engage in the debate over the future of Puerto Rico. Whatever your view is, it's time that we look at each other with respect. We treat each other with love. We put down the fight that has long gone on for something that we did not create. So the fight between brothers and between sisters ends now. Let us focus our attention to this important debate. Let us engage in civil discussion, meaningful conversation, and overall remembering que somos hermanos y hermanas, and we are to love and respect each other and each other's views. So Oscar, thank you so much for your struggle and for our struggle, and thank you so much for everything that you've done.
So we have a few speakers left before we hear from our honored guest, Oscar Lopez Rivera. But before then, we would like to have just a small poetic token offered by community member, proud Puerto Rican woman and artist, Juana Gergen.
This is a day of glory for Puerto Ricans, and it's an honor for me to be here. I'm rather emotional moment because I think that today we have a promise, a hope for Puerto Ricans and for Puerto Rico. They say that Puerto Rico is in crisis, that we have economic crisis, educational crisis, social crisis, but here we have a hope for the future. And I am a poet. I say things with words. These words are inspired by a poem that Francisco Matos Paoli used to read to us, his students. This poem of Paoli is entitled Patria en Vigilia. And Francisco Matos Paoli wrote this poem for Albizu and for Puerto Rico, telling Puerto Rico to be vigilant and to wait for Albizu to come out and bring the freedom that the Puerto Ricans needed. So today I am dedicating this poem, of course, as a bienvenida para Oscar, and a esta patria que está en vigilia. The epígrafe of Paoli, la patria aguerrida de puños ha roto las cadenas y el jardín de Borinquen pulsa su ruiseñor contra la frente. Oscar es la mano que convoca un girasol en la celda, esa añoranza de azul, de mar, en el que flota una isla que es también una celda. Es corazón que late de bandera a bandera y es la historia que contaré a mis hijos y a los hijos de mis hijos y a los hijos de sus hijos hasta llenar 10 mundos en un solo grito. Oscar es la palabra precisa en resistencia y lucha, palabra que se eleva más allá de los muros y sube a las cumbres de Toro Verde y se baña en las aguas de un lago, de un río y vuelve y está aquí para abrazar a su hermano en el Paseo Boricua. Oscar es un cristal convertido en danza de manos para tocar a su hija, para abrazar a su nieta, una estrella de bronce, salvando compañeros, fundando escuelas y juntando los pedazos derramados de una isla que se une para gritar, bienvenido a casa, Oscar López Rivera.
Before we move on to our next speaker, I would just like to introduce myself so you guys know who I am. My name is Janeda Fuentes. I am a member of the National Boricua Human Rights Network here in Chicago. I'm also a member of the Puerto Rican Agenda. I'm a graduate of Dr. Pedro Albizu Campos High School. I am a spoken word poet in this community and an activist. And as a woman in this community, I have been a member of a group of people that for very different reasons have all been inspired to fight for the struggle to release our Puerto Rican political prisoners. I'd like everyone to give a round of applause to the members of the Chicago chapter of the National Boricua Human Rights Network. And if they could just line up, present themselves very quickly. Miguel, Laura, Juanita, Jesse, Michelle, Diana, Michael. We have Scott in the building, Thomas. With this group of people who are in no way related. Some are not Puerto Rican. Some are not calling for human beings to be free and make their own decisions, and for it not to be criminalized to struggle for that. So thank you very much to my comrades here in Chicago for all of their tireless work. We love you, Oscar. We're happy that you're home. We have a member representing an organization that has worked in solidarity with the PRCC for many years. A woman who is a warrior in her own right, who does not take no for an answer, who fights for her people with the tenacity that Oscar fights for his, and that this community fights for ours. Pastora Emma Lozano from Centro Sin Fronteras.
En este día tan histórico. Hemos esperado tanto tiempo para ver libre a nuestro hermano Oscar López. Y hoy me paro aquí. A mi izquierda está Elvira Arellano. A la derecha está la pastorcita Jacobita Cortés. Pero cuando estamos unidos, somos más poderosos. Y yo quiero darle las gracias a Oscar por ser tan ejemplo para todos nosotros. Un sacrificio, una disciplina, un hombre, de veras un hombre boricua, que todo mundo puede levantarse y decir, es mi líder. Yo quiero darle las gracias también a José López, porque él siempre ha sido mi compadre, y esa escuela Pedro Alviso Campos, que graduó a Tania, porque ella lo escogió, pero graduó a Anita, mi otra hija, porque la botaron de los otros tres high schools. Pero las dos tienen éxito por la educación, y ellas conocen quiénes son mexicanas y conocen la historia de los boricuas, y para mí siempre mi corazón está aquí en Humboldt Park, y yo quiero darles las gracias por este día y bienvenido, Oscar. Solamente quiero decir, como mexicana viviendo en Humboldt Park, que me siento súper orgullosa de estar este día compartiendo con todos los boricuas esa grande victoria de tener a nuestro hermano Oscar López entre nosotros. Bienvenido. Es usted una gran inspiración de resistencia. Por eso seguimos aquí resistiendo, porque usted es nuestro ejemplo, usted es nuestro héroe, y estoy orgullosa de vivir aquí en Humboldt Park y de recibir tanto apoyo y solidaridad de la comunidad puertorriqueña aquí en el barrio. Gracias. Thank you so much, Emma, Elvira, and Jacobita. We're gonna have our honored guest speaking very shortly for all of those who've been waiting. So get your Snapchats ready, your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram. There's a lot of young people in the audience. I know how you roll. Facebook Live. But I'd like to introduce a mentor to me, a true example to me, someone who I've not only seen fight for his brother, like I would hope that all of us would fight for our own brothers and our own sisters, but who does not
take no for an answer, does not allow for our community to be pushed around and bullied, and who fights tirelessly no matter who is in the way because he believes more in the strength of our community and our people than of the people who oppose us and oppress us. I'd like to introduce the brother of a former Puerto Rican political prisoner, the director of the PRCC, Oscar Lopez.
Thank you. Thank you, Janeida. You've done a wonderful job. But let me just say that I would be remiss if I didn't recognize Michael Deutsch in our midst here. This is your victory, Michael. Thank you. I would be remiss, obviously, with all the political prisoners who are here today, who have also suffered incarceration for the cause of Puerto Rico, particularly Eddie Cortez and Ricardo Jimenez and Carlos Alberto Torres. I want to make sure that I call all my family members to come up here. All of Oscar's family, can you guys come up here? I want to make sure that in that family I also call Zoraida and Luis Gutierrez's family. They are Zoraida, Omaira, and Jessica Luisito. They are part of this family. I would like to make sure that you see, I hope all of them are here, but I hope that all of them, you can see them. I want to make sure that no one's standing back there because you people talk too much. And I want you to hear what Oscar has to say. So everybody from up there will have to come down here in this space. There's a lot of space here. All right. So this is my family. This is Oscar's family. And this is only a little bit of his family, because on Saturday you will see hundreds and hundreds of our family members in San Sebastian welcoming Oscar home. So, as I am joined by my family and my extended family of the Gutierrez, I want to ask that first we take a moment to remember a young man who gave a great deal to this, Jonathan Rivera Lizardi. And I want, his daughter was around here. Is she still around? Come up here because you're part of this family. And this young, beautiful young woman and her wonderful mother are part of this family as well. And we're so proud of so much that Jonathan did in this community. So I wanted them to join us. But people, I want you to listen carefully. Luis Gutierrez went to Congress. Luis Gutierrez made a promise in his home on, what was that? Claremont. Luis Gutierrez made a promise, and he's kept that promise. And he kept that promise because he said that to really make sense of all the craziness of politics, he needed to have something that really spoke to his heart, to his commitment. And there were two issues in particular. One was obviously his struggle and his defense of the undocumented and the immigrants. And the other was Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican political prisoners. 30 years of service to this community, 30 others were celebrating that Luis was elected here in the 26th Ward, alderman of the 26th Ward, the first Puerto Rican from the Midwest to go to Congress. And we can celebrate 50 years of Oscar's legacy, and we can celebrate 30 years of true public service by our great gallito, Luis Gutierrez, and I want him to come, and I want you to hear him, and I want you to give him a warm welcome and make sure that we say thank you to Luis Gutierrez.
I first want to say thank you, Jose. Look, 25 years ago, we got together in Philadelphia. Juan Maribras was there, Rafael Cancel Miranda, Carlos Gallizá, Vice Jose Lopez. We got together and we said, we're going to start Ofensiva 92. And Ofensiva 92 gave us the first fruit in August of 1999, when 11 compañeros were pardoned by then President Clinton. Oscar was also offered release by President Clinton. But he stood on principle and said, ninguna compañera ni ningún compañero se queda atrás y Oscar sea libre. Se quedó. Él pudo haber estado con nosotros hace años, pero se quedó. And then a few years later, we continued to visit Carlos Alberto, and Carlos Alberto is now with us in Humboldt Park. And Oscar stayed in prison. So I want to say a couple of things. Verticalidad. Verticalidad. Es una palabra importante y que hace mucha falta en la vida política del pueblo puertorriqueño. Oscar es ejemplo de verticalidad. Pero hay otra palabra bien importante que me ha dado a mí como ejemplo. Y es que mantener esa verticalidad no importa los retos. Yo he tratado de ser fiel a eso. Yo no podía descansar en el Congreso de los Estados Unidos mientras yo tenía la posibilidad de avanzar la causa de la excarcelación de todos los presos políticos, incluyendo a Oscar Lopez Rivera. So for me it was easy, and Jose's true, Oscar. I made decisions sometimes that I may not have been the happiest with. But I knew that I had a responsibility as a Puerto Rican to my Puerto Rican community, and that somebody had to make a priority of the cause of the Puerto Rican people. Because you taught me to stand up for people regardless of their sexual orientation, and I did. You taught me to stand up for people regardless of their religious orientation, and when Muslims were banned, I stood up so they could continue to come to this country. Oscar taught me a long time ago that Black Lives Matter, because we understood that from our fight in the 50s and the 60s. Oscar has taught me so much, but at the same time, my heart was always empty, because every time I visited Oscar, I knew that during the 35 years he was in jail, I got Omaira, my daughter. I got to watch her born. I got to watch her be married. I got to watch her give birth to my grandson, Luisito, who has 14 years today of age. I got to watch my other daughter, Jessica, who Oscar sends you greetings from Ramallah in Palestine in the West Bank and wants to give you the warmest greetings from there. I got to watch so many beautiful moments in my life, knowing that each and every one of those days you were in jail. I want to say today Oscar, tu hermano José es un increíble hermano, ser humano y luchador. Y quiero decirle gracias a él también. Gracias, José. Yo tengo a mi hija aquí. I have Omaira here with me. My firstborn, Omaira, she's here with me. And I'm so happy that I get to share this stage with Clarisa, tu hija también. Qué maravilloso. Ven, Clarisa, con nosotros. I'm in with this. There is so much I can express. But Omaira, after you were recently captured and jailed, Oscar, the FBI came to the child care center, Consuelo Correger. Omaira was 3.5, maybe 4 years old. And the FBI came and broke every toy, destroyed everything. And Omaira, when I got there, she said, Papi, can you call the president and tell him to give us our toys back? And I stood there as a dad, feeling so powerless, so impotent, that I had a daughter who was saying to her dad, can you call the president and tell him to give us our toys back? I never forgot that, Omaira, that request of yours. And Oscar, I never forgot it. So, when 25 years later, I got to, she said, mira, papi, you're going to see the president, right? Because he wants to talk to you about Promesa. And I said, yes, hija, I'm going to talk to him about that. He said, remember, maybe you didn't get my toys back, but can you get us Oscar Lopez Rivera back and talk to the President of the United States? So, Oscar, some things have changed along the road. From a man who felt so little power in being able to protect his young daughter against the abuses of the FBI, to a congressman who was able to walk into the Oval Office, look the president in the eye and said, it is time that you respect the demand of the Puerto Rican diaspora from New York and Philadelphia, from Massachusetts, from Ponce and Mayagüez, and return our native son, our favorite son, Oscar Lopez Rivera. And so, Oscar, bienvenido a este pedazo de patria. Gracias, te lo digo inmensamente. Tu lucha, tu vida, me ha llenado a mí de inspiración. Y le ha dado a mi vida y razón de ser en el Congreso de los Estados Unidos muchos días cuando yo dije, ¿qué carajo yo estoy haciendo aquí? No, a veces yo dudaba, ¿qué carajo yo estaba haciendo aquí? Yo sabía que yo estaba haciendo ahí. Y ahora estoy feliz que me quedé hasta los últimos días para que tú estuvieras aquí con nosotros y yo pudiera llenar mi era. Listen, I know that we all did it together. And I want to say thank you to everyone, to my wife, Zoraida, yes, to my daughter, Omaira, to Jessica, to my family, but most of all, to the Lopez family, and to all of the political prisoners. They're all our friends. They're all my family. Thank you for this great honor. And now, please receive. Y mira, ¿qué se dice? Yo soy boricua. Yo soy boricua. Por favor, unan sus manos y reciban con el aplauso, en la energía y el compromiso, Oscar Lopez Rivera.
quiero darle las gracias a todos y a todas de lo más profundo de mi corazón. I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart with all the love that I can muster. After spending 35 years and months in prison, I had never for one single moment, lost the hope of coming home, lost the hope of not being able to see faces that I've known, faces of people I love. There's one man sitting there, a lawyer. His name is Michael Deutsch. We as Puerto Ricans owe a lot to him. He was one of the first lawyers to go and deal with the issue that our 5 national heroes were facing in the federal prison system. So from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank Michael, his family. There are so many people I would like to thank. I would like to thank my brothers and sisters who struggle and spend time in prison. There are a few names that sometimes we leave out. There's Dora Garcia. She will spend time in prison. There is a brother, Stephen Guerra, who spent time in prison. There's a brother named Roberto Cardero who spent time in prison. There are many others who have spent time in prisons. They're the ones who came out in 1999. And people have mistaken the fact that I stayed behind and that they came out. My brothers, my sister, my beloved comrades, we had an agreement. We wanted them to come home. There were 2 that were left behind, but the decision was a decision approved by all of us. I don't think that there has been a moment in our lives where we have not felt love for each other, spending time in prison, but always reminding ourselves that the important thing, the most important thing, is to decolonize Puerto Rico, to bring our people the dignity that they deserve, to bring our people the love that they deserve, to bring our people the energy, the empowerment that they deserve. And above all, the love for our homeland and our love for all Puerto Ricans in the diaspora. Our love for Palestine, our love for the Palestinian struggle, our love for people who struggle hard in this country, and that's the African American, the Black Lives Matter movement today. Yesterday, I was wearing all my clothes black, and one of the issues that I pointed out was my solidarity with the Black Lives Matter, because it's a movement, and anyone who struggles for the dignity, the freedom, the justice that African Americans need and deserve in this country and all over the world, we believe that they should be treated as well and better, much better than those who oppress them, those who exploit them, those who first enslaved them. And from the bottom of our hearts, we should support the struggle of the African Americans in this country, but also every place in the world. Let's be proud. Let's be proud. Let's be proud. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as a white human being. There is no such thing as a yellow human being. There is no such thing as a red human being. There is no such thing as a black human being. The identity by those who have the power to define us are the ones, those who have the powers to define us are the ones who gave us those labels. We should pay attention closely, because we are all human beings, and as long as we look at each other differently, we dehumanize ourselves, and we should never allow that to happen. Never allow that to happen. I also express my solidarity to the LGBTIQ community. Again, we should not foment or allow hatred and fear to get into our hearts. Hatred and fear dehumanize us. Hatred and fear keep ourselves, each other, separated. We should not do that. We should not do that. Let's struggle. Let's struggle as a people. Let's struggle as a people. I dare say that if we do not struggle as a people, we will always be under the word of those who have the power, those few who have the power. Unfortunately, sometimes we are complicit with those who have the power. We should never accept that. We should never be loyal to those who oppress, those who enslave, those who hate, those who destroy human life. I want to say something about my homeland. Today, Puerto Rico is under probably the biggest challenge and the biggest threat to its existence. The U.S. government has chosen to impose on us a junta de control fiscal. No a la junta, exactly, no a la junta. But Puerto Rico is also experiencing something that Chicago probably was the first city to experience, and that's gentrification. Those of us Puerto Ricans who were here in the late 60s, we remember how Lincoln Park was gentrified. And from that gentrification, it expanded, and we can see it today around us. That's gentrification. Gentrification takes people away, removes people away. In the case of Puerto Rico, it's a more serious one, because gentrification also has forced Puerto Ricans to emigrate. And we have a tremendous amount of mind power. The best Puerto Ricans, the best educated Puerto Ricans, young Puerto Ricans, by the way, have to leave Puerto Rico because they don't have an opportunity there to survive, to make a living. And they come to the United States. But today there are more Puerto Ricans in the diaspora than there are Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico. And I see that as a threat. I see that as a humongous threat. Puerto Rico is also the place where big corporations go there, and what they do mostly is to leave their waste and take the capital out of Puerto Rico. We have more places today where they dump their trash that contaminates the water, trash that contaminates the air, trash that contaminates the land. And Puerto Rico is full of plastics. Thanks to Walmart, thanks to Walgreens, thanks to all those corporations that can take their trash to Puerto Rico and take out the money that is made there. Because Puerto Rico is not the place where they keep their money. There's another point to this, and that's when politicians lie. I must tell you this. In 1898, the United States government went into Puerto Rico. It invaded it, occupied it militarily. But along with those military people, there was a Puerto Rican elite, an elite that was willing to serve the interests of the colonizer. And that elite succeeds itself, one after the other, generation after generation. And Puerto Rico has had that elite controlling Puerto Rico, controlling the life, defining who we are, attacking independentists, attacking those who love Puerto Rico, and serving the colonizer. Sometimes I've been accused of being a terrorist. Allow me to say this. On the 11th of January, 1975, I was in Puerto Rico. And somebody, most likely working for the FBI, working for the police, put a bomb in the celebration of one of our heroes, Eugenio Maria de Hostos. And that bomb killed an 11-year-old boy and a 28-year worker and left wounded 10 Puerto Ricans. The 25th of July, 1978, two young Puerto Ricans, one was 17 years old and the other one was 21. They were used by the police with the help of the FBI. They were taken to Cerro Maravilla and assassinated. But we in this country and in Puerto Rico, we often do not hear the terrorism that is attacked or used against us. I have struggled against colonialism because colonialism is a crime against humanity. And by international law, colonized people have the right to fight for their independence by any means necessary, including the use of force. I'm not here to advocate force. I'm not here for that. I'm here to bring some truth about how we are defined. But we have not used violence in Puerto Rico for over 25 years. We have waged struggles of unity. Probably the most significant one in Puerto Rico was the battle to get the Navy out of Vieques. But another great victory that people pay little attention to is three victories that the Puerto Rican people, with the help of people who love freedom and justice, made it possible, including Michael Deutsch.
The first victory was 1979, when we were able to get five of our national heroes, Lolita Lebrón, Irving Flores, Andrés Figueroa Cordero, Oscar Collazo, Rafael Cancel Miranda. The second victory was achieved in 1999 when 12 Puerto Ricans went home. Their names: Alberto Rodriguez, Carlos Alberto Lopez, Edwin Cortés. Okay.
Carmen Valentín.
Carmen Valentín, Dircia Pagán, Alejandrina Torres, Alejandrina Torres, Lucy Rodríguez, Alicia Rodríguez, Ricardo Jiménez, Adolfo Matos, Elizabeth Escobar. Did I leave anyone out? Que griten. Alejandrina Torres. Oh, coño.
José Luis Rodríguez.
José Luis Rodríguez, Jaime Delgado. Coño. Esperen un momento, que se me olvida el nombre. Somos muchos, es lo que pasa. Gracias, Eric. La última persona que acaba de salir de la prisión soy yo. Son tres victorias, pero quiero señalar algo que es bien importante para todos nosotros, debe de ser importante. El pueblo puertorriqueño, diáspora puertorriqueña, hombres y mujeres de todo el mundo que aman la justicia y la libertad, han hecho posible que de Puerto Rico todos los prisioneros y prisioneras políticas hayan sido escarceladas. Somos los únicos dentro del colonialismo estadounidense que hemos logrado que nuestros presos políticos no mueran en la prisión. Quiero decir esto. Hay panteras negras, the Black Panthers, that are in prison since 1968. The Black Panthers and Black Liberation Army people that are in prison in 1972, 1973. There's Leonard Peltier in prison since 1976. Mumia in prison since 1981. There's Thomas Manning. There's Jan Laman. There's David Gilbert. There's Judy Clark, who are in prison since 1981. There's Mutulu Shakur, who spent about 8 years with me in prison. A brother I love profoundly. He's still in prison. The others whose name I cannot remember right now, but bear in mind that they are in my hearts and minds, and they should be in your hearts and minds also, and that all of us should struggle to help them come out of prison. Because otherwise they will die in prison. And we don't want them dead. We should never allow a political prisoner to die in prison. And they have died in prison. So, for my part, as part of my message tonight, I ask all of you to struggle, to help the struggle, to liberate the political prisoners. There's one Puerto Rican woman that I want to mention because we Puerto Ricans should do everything possible to get her out of prison. Her name is Ana Belén Montes, and we would like to see her free as soon as possible. Please, let's do whatever we can to let her be out of prison. And with this, and lots of love in my heart, I say to you, que viva Puerto Rico libre, que viva Palestina, que viva los movimientos africano-americanos, especialmente este que dice Black Lives Matter. Que viva un mundo mejor y más justo y que nosotros todos luchemos para hacer lo posible. Gracias a todos ustedes. Que viva todo.
Compañeros y compañeras, please let me just say a few words. One is we're going to ask, I want all of you to give a round of applause to all of our family that's up here. I'm going to ask them because we got another act, so we may have to obviously leave the stage because we're going to have another musical act. But before I do that, I want to recognize obviously the work, the tireless work, the commitment, the amazing way that this woman, Jen Sussler, has done for this work. Jen, thank you. I want to thank Clarissa, Oscar's only daughter, for everything she has done in making this possible. Thank you, Clarissa. I want to make sure that I recognize two people here in addition. One is Jose Rivera, the man who's always filming everything, who has been in the struggle for so long. Gracias, Jose Rivera del Bronx. Y quiero darle las gracias a su compañero Mike Nieves, que siempre ha dicho presente. Gracias, Mike. Let me remind everyone that on June 17th, Oscar will be the Grand Marshal of the 39 Puerto Rican People's Parade. I want all of you to be here. Oscar will be here to participate in the graduation, the largest graduation of Dr. Pedro Albizu Campos High School. Oscar will be here to celebrate the graduation of the Consuelo Lee Correger Child Care Center. And Oscar will be here to celebrate the graduation of my grandson, Gabriel Gonzalez Lopez. So, this is amazing. Thank you. We're going to ask everybody to just leave the stage, and then, Janeda, you take over.
Thank you, Jose. I'd just like to let everyone know that in addition to the Puerto Rican parade where Oscar will be the Grand Marshal, we invite you to come, your friends, your family, bring everyone. Oscar has also signed a copy of his book, completely written by him, and it is available at the entrance of the Boathouse over here. They're all signed by him, so if you're interested in supporting, you can get a copy there. And we'd like to invite Bomba Kumbuya back up to the stage, along with any other artists that would like to jam out to despedir a Oscar after today's wonderful activity. Thank you very much, y que viva Puerto Rico libre.